Hey guys, I'm Andrew, also known as I Am Android, and I love to talk about movies and TV shows way too much. With that being said, in today's video, I'm going to be ranking my top 10 favorite horror movie killers from the worst to the best, and I would love to hear your guys' comments and rankings in the comments down below. In 10th place, I got Art the Clown. He is a terrifying figure who terrorizes and brutally kills his victims, drivenly pursue and they're suffering and everything in between. And I think that even is creepier that he doesn't even talk or speak. I think that is super creepy. But he is highly expensive and emotional, using gestures and facial expressions to communicate, and his mimicking like qualities are used to mock and intimidate his targets. And that to me is super creepy. So I rate Art the Crown a 4 out of 10. In ninth place, I have Death. Death is a compelling killer just because you can't escape death. Death is upon you, and everyone dies one way or another. It does have a great message, though, to live life to the fullest and have no regrets in life. And I find that super inspiring, so I rate Death a 5 out of 10. In eighth place, I have Chucky. Chucky is a force to be reckoned with just because he's a doll, and you wouldn't expect him as a threat just because he's a doll. But surprisingly, he has a amount of good strength, and he has layers on top of him that make him compelling and everything. And the way that he treats his victims is downright cruel. So I rate Chucky a 5.5 out of 10. In seventh place, I have Jigsaw. He is super terrifying because he literally abuses his victims and everything. And he has curves and cuts, and he uses various materials like wood, plastic, and metal. And he creates a bunch of holes and make it notches so you can also make a freehand straight cut through less cleansing and of a circle of saw. And if I heard, do you want to play a game? I would get out of there, whatever place I'm in, wherever I am, and I would run as fast as I can before I get attacked by Jigsaw, just because he's so terrifying and you never know what trap he has for you, and that is the most terrifying thing of all. But I rate Jigsaw a 6 out of 10. In sixth place, I have Leatherface. Leatherface is a super pretty cool character in my opinion because I like how he's a canvas serial killer who uses chainsaw and other tools to murder people, often for food, and he wears a mask made from human skin. And that was pretty new and interesting to me when I got into the Chainsaw Massacre movies and everything, and it's nothing that I've never seen before this. So I rate Leatherface a 6.6 out of 10. In fifth place, I have Freddy Krueger. I would be afraid to go to sleep if I was in a Nightmare on Elm Street world, just because he has supernatural strength, speed, regeneration, and shape-shifting abilities, along with powers to manipulate dreams, warp reality, absorb souls, and inflict physical harm to the nightmares that he is reducing to people. In the real world, he loses many of these powers, but can retain some superhuman physical capabilities and remains masterful of his claw glove and combat. So I rate Freddy Krueger a 7 out of 10. In fourth place, I have Jason. He is a man-zombie who haunts Camp Crystal Lake and the surrounding area, driven to slaughter anyone he encounters by burning them alive. And he needs to avenge the death of his beloved mother, Pamela, which is sweet and everything, but at the same time, he went about it the wrong way and everything. But he's a force to be reckoned with, so I rate Jason a 7.5 out of 10. In third place, I have Pennywise. I like the concept of it being an ancient shape-shifting creature that feeds off of the fear of children by luring them with terrifying illusions and scary forms. It uses supernatural powers, including reality warping and mind controlling, to create nightmares, enchanted to fear in its victims. And the consume that he has after it becomes everything and eats children. Pennywise does become weaker when people overcome their fear and everything like that. And the fact that he can literally hypnotize an entire town is mind-blowing to me, which is why I rate Pennywise a 8.5 out of 10. In my runner-up spot, I got Ghostface. I like how Ghostface calls their targets to taunt and threaten them while using a voice changer to hide their true identity. He or she stalks and taunts the victims before committing murder while using a knife, often involving a horror movie trivia over the phone call. And he or she stalks the survivors to become undetectable and apply the exposed status effect, making them the vulnerable and a one-hit takedown and everything like that. I also really enjoy how each ghost face is connected from a previous ghost face and everything, and that to me is really interesting. But I rate Ghostface a 9 out of 10. But in first place, I have Michael Myers. Michael Myers to me is the most recognizable horror movie killer of all time. He is extremely special to me because he is the killer that got me into horror movies in general, other than Ghostface. But he is super cool, especially he has super special abilities of stalking, murdering people, particularly during the Halloween season, and is often portrayed as an embodiment of pure evil. His first gained motive of murdering his sister at a young age, leading to his incursion before escaping and beginning his killing spree against his family and others in his hometown. And that to me is just bonkers. But nonetheless, I rate Michael Myers a fantastic 10 out of 10. But without being said, guys, I'm Andrew, also known as Iron Android. And if you enjoyed this video and you want to see more like it, make sure you like, subscribe, comment, and turn on notifications. Also, if you haven't already, subscribe to my gaming channel and my TikTok. Link will be in the description for both of these things. But for now, I'll see you guys in my next video. Peace.